Hello, Herd. You've been asking for this for a long time. Every time I post a video, somebody, at least one person comments that, what about health insurance? What about health insurance in the Philippines? All right, you asked for it, you got it. I happen to have Michael Onstad from Pacific Cross, and we're going to talk to him about expat health insurance here in the Philippines. We're going to do that right now, so let's go. Hello, Herd. It's JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia. I got a special guest today, and I'm excited to talk to him because a lot of my subscribers have been asking about insurance, health insurance, living here in the Philippines. So I've got Michael Onstad. And Michael, good morning. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
All right. So how long have you been in the Philippines? Let's get a little background of you.
7 years.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. So you beat my 2.5. So that's good. And where are you based out of?
La Union Province. That's where my wife's family is, and I'm stuck.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
But I
Like,
do get out. I do travel quite a bit. I do meet and greets right across the country.
oh, okay. Very good. Good surfing out there, I hear.
That's a bit of a myth.
A myth. Okay.
Nothing compared to California.
Well, no. It's not Big Sur or anything like that.
No.
but for the Philippines, I guess. So, all right. But we're here to talk about health insurance for expats. And I know I got a lot of questions all the time. It seems like every video I post, somebody says, "What about health insurance?" It doesn't matter what I'm posting about, but they're always asking about health insurance. So that's why I contacted you. I know you've done videos before with other vloggers, and that's how I got a hold of your contact information. So, first of all, thank you for joining us, and let's talk a little bit about health insurance in the Philippines for expats. I mean, what's the normal thing, or what's the thing that you run into most when an expat contacts you about getting health insurance? What are their biggest concerns?
Getting into the hospital, conscious
Mm,
or unconscious. When you're
mm.
having a heart attack, you don't want to pull over at an ATM and struggle with that. It doesn't work. So you,
Right.
you want an insurance that's well recognized. You present the access card and you're in. Okay. Uh, Settling the bill is done directly after the fact, but it's
Mhm.
done whilst you're in the hospital.
Okay. So
That's the biggest issue.
when you say settling the bill, does the insurance company settle that bill, or does the patient settle the bill and then
No,
it's a
the insurance
reimbursement?
company settles it directly.
Oh, that's
Mind you,
fantastic.
on occasion, you're going to have to be patient because
Mhm.
the insurance company needs to get all the necessary documents. So it might take
Yeah,
6 hours for that to happen. Okay, due
6
to
hours is better than 6 months,
yeah.
for a reimbursement check.
Well,
And I've
that's
heard
another
some.
one of our fortes is we get reimbursements paid within 30 days, and occasionally we slip over that. But you know,
Mhm.
it's all about micromanagement. It's about chasing the documents. They tend to
Right.
sit on things here and
Mhm.
wait, and I don't put up with that.
Well, I've heard so many horror stories about checking into hospitals here in the Philippines, and that they won't release you until you pay the bill.
Right?
So when there's a reimbursement involved, that could be tedious
It
and
could be a
problematic.
problem. Yes, it
Yeah.
could be. Yeah.
So what company do you work with as far as insurance?
Well, I looked at them all, and they
Hmm.
all had one common denominator, and that was poor service. Okay,
Hmm.
so I had to pick one. This is 4 years ago. The lucky winner was Pacific Cross,
Okay.
and I managed to infiltrate their management and bring them up to a reasonable level of service, which is
Okay.
uh, which is my forte. So you might save $1.95 across the street, but it's going to cost you just so much more in service. It's not worth it.
Right. Yeah. I retired to get away from stress, so I definitely don't need
Yeah,
any more stress in my life if
yeah,
possible.
yeah. Well, I take the stress for you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. So, so let's talk a little bit about the process of getting insured. What's and we're talking. I assume most of your clients are retirement age or close
Yeah.
to it, right? So, what's that look like as far as contacting you from that first step on?
It's always best to contact me through Facebook Messenger. I'm easy to
Okay.
find. Just look up my name. I'm the funny-looking guy with the snorkel and mask on, sitting on a what do they call those little boats? Yeah,
That I don't know.
I forget what they call them.
Kayak.
Anyway, yeah, it's a kayak with a stabilizer up the side. But anyways, that's the best way to contact me. I'll send you an initial quote, and I'll give you a couple of most likely options to look at, and then I follow up with a video call, and then we proceed to the application process. It goes that way, and that's a matter of filling out a questionnaire. If you have pre-existing conditions, there's going to be additional questionnaires. Occasionally, they'll ask for a blood test or a blood pressure test within the last 6 months, depending on the answers on the application.
Okay.
And that's about
All
it. In
right.
a
So
couple of weeks, I should have an offer.
so just a basic physical then?
Well, there's no physical involved.
Well, the blood pressure and
Yeah, well, that's not a physical. I mean,
just checkup, just
that's
a checkup.
not even a
Yeah.
half a checkup.
Okay. What about pre-existing conditions? They don't cover those?
12-month waiting period,
12 month.
and
Okay. All right.
and it's going to cost you to cover it after the 12 months is up, and that ranges
Hmm.
from 30 to 50% per pre-existing condition.
Okay.
If it's a real whopper, it might be permanently excluded. But again, we don't
Right.
know until we give it a try.
Right. Have you ever had um, any expat clients that have been denied coverage?
Yes,
Okay. What were the circumstances around that?
mastitized cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. But generally
and
speaking,
AIDS. They won't cover if you have AIDS.
oh, okay. Yeah. But generally speaking, the majority of the expats that contact you, they are
They get an
insurable.
offer. Yeah, 95.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What because right now I just use travel insurance and but I need to find something more permanent and with a little better coverage. But what's the typical cost for say a healthy 60-year-old male that's living here in the Philippines?
Well, I usually recommend the either the peso plan,
Okay.
and the peso plan for 5 million benefit limit would be about 80,000 pesos a year.
Okay.
Right? And then there's the U.S. dollar plan, which is more of a catastrophic plan. Covers
Mm,
you up to 500,000 U.S., which is ample here.
right.
I quote it with a deductible of 2,500 US. That's just because optimized discount, and the
Right.
premium will come out to about 1,800 US per year.
Okay. Yeah. Just what is that? About 130 a month, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
140. Yeah, not bad. That's not much more than I'm paying now for my travel insurance. Do you have coverage that covers if you need if a person needs to get flown back to their home country for an emergency procedure or something like that?
Uh, if we remove the territorial limitation to include the USA, we can. We give up a 25% discount, but it allows you to go to the US for treatment.
Okay. All right. So being here just in the Philippines, there's a 25% discount. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, and you can still avail any hospital in Thailand. I've heard
Oh, in
they've got
Thailand too.
yeah, they've
Oh,
got
nice.
there I hear. But St. Luke's is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, yeah. I can literally walk from my condo to St. Luke, so
Yeah,
it's probably quicker. If I'm having a heart attack, I'd probably get there quicker
yeah,
than
you'll probably
waiting
crawl
for
there faster.
emergency vehicle. Right?
Just buy a wheelchair.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
So, Michael, what else would you what kind of advice would you give someone that's looking to possibly retire here in the Philippines? When they're in their 60s or even in their 70s, they're looking at coming here. Um, as an insurance person, somebody that's familiar with healthcare and that sort of thing, what advice would you give someone that's looking at doing this?
Self-insure for the small things and insure for the catastrophic.
Mm, okay. So
And
yeah, just the
and if you
basic
have
procedures.
seeing a doctor is $20. You know,
Right. Yeah.
if you fall and scrape your knee and they have to wipe it up, that's 500 pesos. You, you know, that like there is an annual checkup built into these plans, but
Okay.
that's all you need.
Yeah, and people that aren't familiar with Philippine healthcare, it is cheaper. Most things are a lot cheaper than in the States, in the U.S., probably everywhere, other than other Southeast Asian countries. Even prescription drugs. I found that I went about 2 years ago. I had a really bad sinus infection, and I went to St. Luke's, and they basically check you in, and they do everything. I got the X-ray, I got everything done, blood tests, everything, and I can't remember exactly what the cost was, but it was right around $100 total,
Yeah,
maybe a little
yeah,
less. But the prescription drugs that I had to get, I got it at the pharmacy in the hospital, and I learned my lesson. Don't get drugs at the pharmacy in the hospital. Go to one of the Watsons or
right.
Mercury
Well,
outside,
they've got a
and you'll
captive
get it a
market
lot
there, and
cheaper.
they suck you in.
Yeah, exactly. So I got my girlfriend some prescription drugs today for her sinus infection, some antibiotics, and it was only about $10, less than $10 for
Yeah,
the whole package. So that's cheap. I don't think you can get that cheap, and of course, unless you have insurance and it's covered. But yeah, those expenses you just pay out of pocket.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so so when you say insure the catastrophic, what would be kind of a break point when you say insure the higher cost? I guess that would depend on what kind of savings or what kind of money each person has available, right?
Yeah. Well, heart attack, stroke, cancer, a serious accident where you're unconscious
Mhm.
for a couple of months. Yes, that's
Right.
happened. I'd say accidents are probably the majority of the claims I get. Oh, and then there's the bacterial. There's funny bacteria here. I
Hmm.
I can't identify at all, but you guys will cut their leg and they ignore it, and then it turns into gangrene.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta
I've
take
heard some
care of
horror
little cuts
stories.
here. Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories. And, even just trying to eat safe and that sort of thing, I
Yeah.
always say that your first 90 days living here, you're going to get sick. Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
almost unavoidable, avoidable. And then
yeah,
every once in a while, you'll get that stomach flu or
yeah,
whatever they want to call it.
yeah,
I call it Lapu Lapu's revenge instead of Montezuma's revenge.
yeah.
But you'll get sick, and sometimes it lasts for a day, sometimes it lasts for a week, and and sometimes it can be really serious, and you might have to go to a
Hospitalized.
hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They
So
put you on an IV to keep you hydrated.
keep you hydrated. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
And
eat lots of
dengue
bananas.
fever pops up quite often.
I've heard that's kind of on the rise, especially in the provinces. Yeah,
For young guys,
yeah,
it's fine, but older guys, it can wipe you out for a month or two.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So tell me what the procedure is as far as the claims procedure when if somebody has to go to the hospital and they're insured with your company, what's the procedure?
Well, it's all the insurance I do, is, of course, is inpatient, so they're admitted to the hospital. That's cashless.
Mhm.
They'll have an access card. It's a digital card. They have it on their phone. Uh, if uh, if they're unconscious, I suggest that they tell a friend or girlfriend, whatever, how to contact me in my office, so we can contact the hospital, provide them with your policy number, and they're going to want some official ID to show that it's actually you, and then
Right.
you're in.
Okay. And then you pretty much take care of everything after that, right?
Yeah, yeah, we micromanage. Yeah,
And you say it could take 6 hours for that to go through, but six
yeah.
hours is nothing compared to Philippine time. So,
No, that's if we're on it. If we left it alone, they're gonna ask you to pay up front and file for
right.
reimbursement. They're notorious for that, but we
Yeah.
don't let
Yeah.
we don't let them.
Okay. Good. That's good to know. So, Michael, before I let you go, what else would you like to let my subscribers know about as far as your company? You know, you can mention that again, but is there anything else that they need to know moving forward?
Well, my office also handles fire, theft, auto, anything you can dream up. Uh,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
we'll handle it. My office handles it. So that's
Um, is theft a big thing around as far as your insurance? Do you get a lot
uh,
of those claims?
and you know what? I don't even look at it. My office
Oh,
handles
you
everything.
you cover the health side. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
the
you.
health consultant guy.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Uh, yeah, I'm easy to get on Facebook. Just look up my name. You can't miss me. Send me a
Yeah, it's right.
message and I'll send you a quote. And I don't follow up. You're not going to be on my hounding list. Don't worry about it.
Well, I've got your name right down below, so everybody knows Michael Onstad, Onstad, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
I want to make sure I spell your name right. And what's the company you work with?
Pacific Cross.
Pacific Cross. Okay, very good. All right. Well, Michael, I appreciate you coming on this morning. I know you're probably a busy man, and I do appreciate that very much.
Let me add before we tie this up. I have
Sure.
a Facebook group, Health
Okay.
Insurance in the Philippines. It's called.
Health insurance in the Philippines. Okay, I'll put that in the description below too, so
Yeah.
that way we can get connected with you there too. So, all right. Well, thank you,
right.
Michael. Again, you have a great day,
Yep,
and
you too.
mabuhay. Live life, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye bye.